Hi divers, and welcome back to another scuba diving reaction video. Today we're reacting to Scuba Failure at 80 feet, which is not a depth you want to have a scuba failure at, if any scuba failure at all. We obviously don't know what kind of failure this is going to be, so this could be equipment failure, this could be a fail on the part of the diver. We don't really know, we're going to have to see how this goes. As always with these kind of videos though, it's not to be mean to the divers involved in these accidents, it's to use this as a case study so we can learn from them to have safer and happier dives ourselves. And obviously I'm going to throw in my expertise as a scuba diving instructor to give you any tips and tricks along the way. With that said, let's jump into the video. Okay, spearfishing and video diver of 13-year-old at, wait a second, in 80 feet of water. That's too deep. Let me just double check that. 80 feet is about 24 meters.
Moments later. Okay,
so here we go, guys. So it says here, I'm just going to quote this. So Paddy Junior Open Water Diver. So this is Paddy's standards, could be vary from place to place. Children between 12 and 15 years old will get a Junior Advanced Open Water Diving Certificate. This certificate allows them to dive with an adult certified diver to a maximum depth of 21 meters. This is also their maximum depth during the course. So 80 feet, which is 24 meters, is going beyond that standard. So straight away, before we even got started in this video, they're breaking standards, which great start. And the only thing it mentions is that it's at Palm Beach, which I don't know where this could be. There's lots of palm beaches in the world. I know of one top of my head in Australia, which is just in the northern part of Sydney. So it doesn't really let me know where it is, but we'll have to see what happens. Camera?
Camera in front of you.
Oh, he wants his camera.
Sorry, I'm not taking the gun. No, give it to me. Give it to me. Please, thank you.
I guess that's a 13-year-old there. Is that a spear gun on his hand? And back rolling without countdown. Brilliant. Good start. So he's got a spear gun. So in some parts of the world that is illegal to scuba dive with a spear gun. And if it is at Palm Beach in Sydney, that is one of the places where it's illegal to do so. So that could be a bit ropey if that's the case. But very blue water, looks very, very pretty. You got a little bit of stuff around the side of the screen, which I believe is just the housing of the camera, by the way, if anyone's curious. Why it's got that kind of circle around the lens. Yeah, nice little fish. Honestly, the reef looks kind of pretty. Looks like some sort of lines down. And a nice yellow snorkel with a pony bottle. So got a bailout with the pony. Okay, so that's a good conservative thing to have as a pony bottle bailout. Not that they last very long, but it's at least a consideration, I guess. So I'm assuming they've both got the same setup as each other. So he might have a pony too. Oh, so the reel's connected to him. That is that line. Okay. I'd say very pretty reef. I like it. It's nice. All the fish around. Breathing seems steady as well from what I've seen so far. Buoyancy control seems okay from what I can tell. Oh, did you touch the bottom there? Maybe? I don't know. Spoke too soon with that buoyancy control. Sound change. Oh yeah, you can hear it. That sounds like you're losing gas somewhere. I look for his gear looks okay, so I quickly realised I have a big problem. Yeah, so if it's not on your partner, it's going to be you. So it needs to signal where the bubbles are. Oh, it looks like it's sorting out, maybe. I can see some bubbles come out from behind him. Did he stop it? What is it? Like the dad just did then, you can like have talk through the regulator. You don't have to take your regulator out to talk. It's a bit muffled, but you can still communicate. It's time to switch to his alternate. Okay. Or is that to the pony tank? Oh. He's on his breath, isn't he? He's not breathing. He's on his breath. Don't hold your breath, dude. That's bad practice, especially for your son who's watching you. So he shut off the pony. It sounded like the hose had blown. So the problem was the pony. I thought he was telling me to switch to the pony. So bad communication. That's why he did that. But he was holding his breath that whole time, which wasn't brilliant. Porcupine fish, very nice. Yeah, so the issue seems like the pony bottle had a leak. Something must have blown on the pony bottle, and that's what caused it. That reel even on the bottom is not brilliant either there. This is the same scene as shot from the head camera. Okay, so this is the same POV. So you can see all the bubbles there. It's from what's coming out the pony. I'd say at least it's not his main cylinder, but he needs to figure out what's going on here. But as it's not main cylinder, he probably can continue the scuba dive, unless that pony is vital for the dive, but it shouldn't be. Dropping the camera on the bottom's not obviously great. It would have been better just to hold on to it. Yeah. And the whole time he's holding his breath, what we knew now, so that's not brilliant. Thankfully he wasn't ascending, so it didn't cause any problems for him. But I just think like when you're diving with your son, be a good example of diver comes to mind generally for me. Okay. Is he going to spear that? It seems a bit small personally. I think when it comes to spearfishing, I'm okay for it, but it's for like personal consumption typically is where you spearfish. So you want to have like big kills which are like substantial. Like that seems a bit on the small end for like a kill. Like you're not going to get much meat off that fish. So, but I usually am okay with spearfishing. By the way, it's just I feel like they should do it a bit more sustainably and go for bigger things, which should be more of a meal. So now I have a small snapper in my catch bag. This is to my waist. What could possibly happen now? Lobster there, is it? Or crab? Say a lot of life on this reef. As long as he didn't kill too many small fish, I guess. That's some fish in there. You can see it because they're not really moving too hard. They're all going slightly different directions. There's not really much current, so it's a very steady, smooth dive. Oh, nurse shark. Nice. Hopefully this is a good buoyancy control he's doing so he's not touching the bottom to get close to it like this. But I can't tell. Wait, is he putting the camera down? Why are you doing... It's so unnecessary. Whoa! Ooh, he'll come at him. What? Stop shouting, dude. You don't... Did you try and hit with his fin then? Oh my... Don't hit... That was bad. That's his fault for telling his son to get him, but... Don't do that to marine life. Leave marine life alone. Have a nice, safe distance with it. It's clearly being territorial. It doesn't like that you put the thing down on the reef there and whatnot. It's also because he probably has that snapper attached to him still. It can probably smell that as a food, so that's drawing it out a bit. So yeah, a bit irresponsible, really. I guess that's probably why most people I know who spearfish do it as free dive. So once they get the kill, they can take it back up to and pass it to the boat, or leave it on top of their like buoyancy device on surface, so it doesn't draw predators out to them. Because yeah, you probably have these weird interactions then with animals because they keep getting drawn to the dead animal what you have on you. So he's trying to get a better shot again with it. Hit his head on the reef, not good. Didn't notice that first time round. But yeah, I don't like the fact he keeps putting stuff on the bottom like this right now. It's just so unnecessary, just to disturb the bottom. Because you never know what's around there and stuff, so it's kind of very lazy kind of practice. Just have tight buoyancy control and you don't have to worry about this. I don't want to see this again. That's just so not okay. Again, it's a bad example for his son though. He's telling his son to do it, he's encouraging his son. So now we drift off along the reef, assuming all is well. What's going to happen now? They're going to have another failure with the equipment? It's a very pretty reef. Just a shame about the divers who are on it. Oh. They love shouting to each other, don't they, to communicate? What's he seeing? Oh, the eel's back again. Yeah, you can see it there. Just leave it alone. It's not hurting you, just leave it alone. You must have some sort of grudge against eels or something, because This is weird. But they're very, very vocal underwater, which I say save it for emergency situations. If you need to communicate, talk to a regulator, that's completely fine. Most of the time, don't do it because it's just annoying on the dive sites. So if they're with me, I'll be telling them to shut up because they're just super obnoxious. Probably tell them off as well. The whole eel thing, probably getting them out of the water for that as well because it's just not okay. Really, really bad to see how they... Oh god, the eel's coming back again, so now they're going to mess around with it again, are they? This time left the bottom and came off into the water column to eat. It won't eat you. Dude. Eels are really passive generally. There's certain situations, but most of the time, that's not... Stop. Most of the time they're going to leave you alone. I think partly it's drawn because he's got, like, obviously a dead fish on his waist. So it's giving it attention for that. That's what the eel wants. It's like, oh, easy food. Realistically, it's not great, obviously, having this, like, fish on you. Because it's just going to keep drawing out marine life. Oh, another lobster. Or crab. Crustacean. But yeah, I'm not surprised that eel's interested in him because of, obviously, having that dead fish on him. Most marine life are scavengers, so they want easy food. What's he laughing at now? Oh, the eel's back. Just ignore it. It's doing you no harm. This guy's winding me up. Stop having the spear gun pointed towards it. It's no threat to you at all. Oh, was he touching the bottom there? An anchor? Why is he anchored on? And he's putting that on the reef as well. So much disregard for like the reef, isn't it, at all? It's like, there's plenty of bad diving practice here. Okay, so that's like one of those spear things to get like lionfish. Often I see it in like the Caribbean. So again, he's just going to kill some fish. That's a little bit bigger, that triggerfish looks, but it's not that much bigger. Still on the smaller side again for the things. At least it's a bit more substantial, that one is. But again, when it comes to like getting fish for like food, I always say go something quite big, so it's like you don't have to kill as much things. You get one good kill, and then that feeds you and your crew or whatnot. I was going for another one. This guy's just on a killing frenzy, it looks like. Again, they're not huge fish. I think you could definitely go for bigger things than this. And Sun's got one. At this rate, they're going to have the whole ocean in their bag, aren't they? And that's quite small again, that one does. Yeah, same size as a hand. Of a 13-year-old as well, so not even like a full-grown adult's hand. So it's pretty small. And ends in a dive. At least I've got something to go up on, so they actually have a buoyancy device so they're safe on the ascent, so they're not going to get hit by boats. So that's one good thing. Although Sun didn't go up at the same time as him, so slightly could have been better on sending together, but that's a nitpick kind of thing. And that's the video. So let's just start with this. Taking a diver who's obviously too young to be diving that deep is not a good start to a video. So if anything happens legally, you might not get insurance coverage for it. So it's not a great situation to start off on. Also, it mentions it's in Palm Beach. Not sure which one, but if it is the one I'm thinking of, which is in the northern beaches of Sydney, that's actually a place where it's illegal to scuba dive with spear guns. I believe it's something to do with how it's not fair on the animals or something like that to like have that much of an advantage. I don't know. Australia's got some strange laws. I think there's other parts of the world as well where it can be illegal to do so. Hopefully they're in a place where it is legal though, so I'm not going to use that against them in this situation. I think that's kind of just something to be mindful of, to check where you are diving, what are the laws in place for that specific region. Obviously the issue was he heard the blowout, so a lot of noise. Whenever a tank does have a big hemorrhage like that, you will hear it, so that's the first sign. You'll also see lots of bubbles. He could have done a little bit himself by doing a quick swivel around and see if he could see bubbles around him, because there would be enough bubbles to know it was him. But obviously checking your buddy first to see if it's from them is a good idea to communicate. Is it you or is it me? If you do see bubbles on your buddy, give them the bubble sign and then point to where the bubbles are coming from. If Yeah, Sun was quite good though. I think he actually went and turned off the pony tank to actually sort it out. He should have been given the okay to let him know it's all good now and just communicate pony tank broken or something like that. So like pony tanks are on the side, broken is a way you could signal that potentially. But yeah, that's not an end of dive situation. You can continue as the main cylinders seems to be fine from my understanding. It's just like a backup they both had there, but realistically they weren't diving deep enough for it to be such a big issue that not having a pony in place. And similarly, just know that you obviously have less gas to work with, so just be a bit more conservative on your end dive limits. What I think I didn't love though was when he had that issue with it, he was holding his breath. You see quite a few times then when his regulator was out of his mouth, he was just holding his breath. Now, because he wasn't ascending, technically that is fine to do so, but I would always say because you're being meant to be a good example to your son, you're the experienced diver on site, it would have been good to see him just do that properly and just slow exhales. But yeah, it wasn't brilliant in that side of things. Then they saw obviously the moray eel. That was completely stupid. Do not harass marine life. Don't try and touch it. Don't try and poke a spear gun at its face. Don't encourage other divers to try and harm it. These are just bad practices. A moray eel will generally leave you alone, and most marine life, if it does come towards you, create distance. You have fins as well, you can do that. But a moray eel, I think it's just getting more so just curious about the fish in his bag. I think this is why a lot of places don't encourage spear guns on scuba dives. Correct me if I'm wrong here, guys, because I'm not a spearfisher. I just have friends who do it with free diving and whatnot, so that's how my knowledge comes from this side of things. But I think it's been drawn because of that dead snapper on his waist, and that's why he got curious, like a typical predator would, because they are scavengers. And that's why he kept coming back to them, the eel was. It was just very curious about what was going on. Oh, can I get that fish? I can smell a dead fish in the water, so I want to get an easy meal. Also, there's lots of unnecessary contact with the bottom of the reef, which obviously is never good to see. Just don't touch the bottom when you don't need to. So putting the camera down on the reef, putting his anchor on the reef, putting the reel line down on the reef as well. So even though it looks like just some rocks or some bottom there can actually be lots of little critters down there, lots of microorganisms growing and whatnot. And as I say, we want to be good divers. We don't want to just do unnecessary harm to the reef. So just felt a bit like pointless to do this. And just to cover it as well, with spearfishing, I felt like they went for very small game. I felt like they could have gone for a lot bigger fish generally, or just not bother to go for those kills, just for kills just for sake of kills almost, because you're not going to get much meat on those kind of fish. Or as you saw, he had to kill quite a few fish just to kind of make up for the lack of meat on each fish, which obviously isn't great. If you are going to go for these kind of spearfishing kind of projects, you want to go for something substantial, which is going to do a good feed for you. That way you don't have to do as much impact on the actual reef just to like make up for it. Now obviously this is not as bad as like trawler fishing, that's way more unsustainable and causes a lot more harm, but just as a personal level, there's better practices in place he could have been doing here. But I feel like he maybe just enjoys going out killing animals. It has that kind of vibe. He's like laughing each time someone's like harassing the moray eel. He's also just going out his way with these kills a bit to kill quite a lot of small fish instead of like going for something bigger. I don't know, it just felt a bit odd to me, which I didn't personally love, but I'd love to know your thoughts on that side of things. Do you think the spearfishing side of things was fine? Do you think what was going on was fine? Or do you think there's other issues there which I might have missed during this video? As always, with these kind of videos though, if you enjoyed it, please give me a like, it helps me out a ton, but help other divers find this videos too. And if you want to see more from myself, Narked Tom, feel free to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon to get notified when I post my next video. Anyway divers, hope you have an awesome and safe dives, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.